Free food in the foothills, but first, a more downturn for a Marysville shopping center. I'm Laura Vandermeer, and here's your ADTV Webcast for Monday, October 1st, 2012. Well, a prominent Marysville shopping center is experiencing tough times with many of its spaces vacant 6 years after it opened. Rabobank, which has been one of the mainstays since it opened, has plans to move across B Street by the end of the year, which would leave a Verizon store, Little Caesars Pizza, and a coffee shop inside Watermark at Ellis Lake. Pre-game bar and grill, La Salsa Mexican restaurant, Mr. Pickle sandwiches, a copy center, and Jamba Juice were previously in the space. Yuba County's Economic Development Coordinator John Fleming said a number of issues, including parking, access, and the economy, may have made the center's prospects more difficult. Reporter Ben Vandermeer will have that full story in Tuesday's paper.
Well, Grandpa, keep rocking all down Grandma's home. Come on, Stephen, now do it.
Well, the Browns Valley Garden Center on Marysville Road has become a real hotspot for foothills farmers and residents. When Ken Powers moved into a shuttered country store in January to transform it into the gardening center, he weighed options of advertisement by promotional shirts or free food. And so, every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m., he offers home-cooked plates to anyone who wants one. Despite the high traffic volume headed to the foothills for the weekend, it's mostly locals who stop by. The giveaway has spurred other kinds of activity at the store, with a small farmers market taking place in front of it occasionally, along with a musical jam session. Read more about what's happening at that store by reading the story from Ashley Gebb in tomorrow's AD. Well, Election Day is getting closer, and the AD newsroom is working on previews of the races happening here in Yuba Sutter. Today, we're again taking a look at the runoff race for the District 1 seat on the Sutter County Board of Supervisors. We chatted recently with candidate Ron Sullinger.
Let's talk a little bit about the economic state of things in Sutter County. Right now, local governments everywhere are seeing, unfortunately, times of shrinking budgets, less revenues, and they're having to make some hard choices. What do you see as services or other areas where you have to be realistic about possibly making cuts or other adjustments to adjust for that?
Well, of course, you've hit the key as far as I'm concerned as to why it's important in this day and age to elect perhaps the most experienced minds that we can and help find a solution, if there is one, to the ever-shrinking budget that I've lived here for quite a while and have been a merchant in this community for 30-odd years, and I have never seen times this tough. So I think that what we really need to do is we need to prioritize and be able to determine those services that we desperately need to try to keep on top of, such as police and fire, versus those particular services that we maybe like, but can maybe shrink a little bit, or in some cases do without.
That entire interview is posted to AppealDemocrat.com, along with a video interview with the challenger, Jeff Boone. Well, people celebrating Native cultures around the world will descend on Yuba County this weekend for the second Indigenous Peoples Days event at Sycamore Ranch Park. Native groups from California, Hawaii, and Mexico will represent traditions among their respective cultures in music, food, storytelling, and other facets. A bark house is being constructed today for that event, which is free. That's your ADTV Webcast for Monday, October 1st, 2012. For updates on these stories and more, go to AppealDemocrat.com or pick up a copy of the AD, your Yuba Sutter news leader, at your favorite newsstand.